How's it going, everyone? How you doing? Uh, we're gonna do the colorist jam today. You guys voted on it. I put it up on Twitter. What do you guys want to do? And hey, Darth Storm. And you guys voted for the colorist jams. That's what we're gonna get. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna get done. All right. Let me make sure everything's all set. I want to be able to see the chat. Okay, we're all set up. We're gonna go. Looks like everything's working right. Okay. Excellent. Now let's talk about up top. We're gonna do the colors jam. I didn't stream for a little while. If you're watching this on YouTube, there's like a stream in between that you missed. It was me really struggling with how to letter. I'm not gonna put that stream up on YouTube for a couple of reasons. One was I was kind of experimenting with stuff and it didn't really work. Mixed results. The other reason is I didn't even keep what I did in that stream. Like I went back and redid it, like all the lettering, and even now I'm like not happy with the lettering. So clearly, we still have a lot to learn. So that one's not going up on YouTube. If you really want to watch it and you're a YouTube watcher, come to twitch.tv/Nickfil. It's in the archives. Another reason why I haven't been streaming lately, the in-laws were in town for a week. We did the leaf peeping and did some outdoor stuff, safe distanced, masked up, did some stuff, but they're gone now. Now it's just you and me. Okay. All right. This is the colors jam. Whew. So if you are unfamiliar with the colors jam, you know what? Let me show you. Let me show you this hot new thing. Twitter.com/coloristjam is now an account. Look at this. So you can see, look at Colorist Jam retweeted me. You can see all the Colorist Jams all in one place. And you can pull line art. If you want to try this at home, if you want to try comic book coloring, you can do that. Look at all these cool jams that have already happened. Awesome. Look at that dead rat. Yeah, some good stuff already on the jam. I really like the side. This is outrageous. My favorite. This is really great too because they're leaning into the red. My favorite. Let me scroll down. Oh, friend of the stream, Hulk Hoquin right here. And this is, these hashtags and colorist jams are a good way to get eyeballs on your work if you want to get professional coloring work. This one is wild. I love it. Yeah. I think that I'm looking at this stuff, and I think that one of the things that people are struggling with is trying to put context into this Raphael because it's a blank background. And I feel like if you want to do moody colors, like you can do this and put moody colors on him. And this looks cool, but like it's just cool on gray, Cool on gray. Not cool cool coloring on gray. I think one of my favorites was Ramon's. I mean, he's the one who drew it. Dragotta drew it and he inked it. I'm not sure how it went. But this is one of my favorites, mostly because it's so graphic. Usually my work leans a little this way with graphic color. Matt Wilson did one. He did one of the first. I loved the shoes. I'm not a shoes guy. I don't know. We're going to have to figure it out. Ooze shoes. Anyway, that's the line art. This is the line art. This is all flatted already. So I was thinking about context, right? I'm thinking about like, how do I make this piece feel a little more part of a world? And so, hey, Stokes book is now following. Thank you for the follow. Um, so I was trying to figure out how to get this to, I don't know, feel right, if that makes sense. Like the mood needs to be there. Um, Real quick, I need to do one thing because we're working in RGB and I have my monitor set up for print. And the gamma is down to 0.72. We're going to crank the gamma to 1. Because that is usually like more in line with what actual like computer monitors are. And this isn't going to go anywhere, this colorist jam. So I want to make sure that we're doing the best job we can. This looks about the same, yeah. Looks about the same on both monitors. The other monitor is not calibrated for print. So I usually use that to like test stuff for like posting on Instagram and things like that. All right, now we can get started. So, context. I was thinking like, we could paint a background. We could paint like a New York City street. However, this is a quick colorist jam. I don't want to spend too much time on it because, A, we're not getting paid. And secondly, we just kind of want to goof around and try new things. And like, we could go deep and like I could draw a background, digital paint it, like really get in the weeds. Or maybe we could photo bash it a little bit. So I made like there's a couple, you see these layers here. This is not in, if you download the file, this is not what you get. I wanted to talk about photo bashing just like a little bit. And photo bashing is when you take a series of photos and you kind of like blend them all together into like one photo, maybe do some brush work, maybe do some filters, try to get it to work right. My monitor looks too bright now. It's too bright. How is that possible? How is that possible? We're gonna dim it just a smidge, a smidge. All right, that looks a little better. Looks a little more accurate. Okay. So obviously this background does not work. And here's the other thing. I don't want to just like paste a photo in. Like it needs to blend in some kind of meaningful way. So we're going to work on that. But first we're going to try to select the best base we can for a photo. Obviously this does not work. You look at this photo and Raphael is like freaking enormous. Like look at this little girl. She's only up to his knee. So we got to get something that's like kind of in perspective. If we wanted to get this to work right, we would need to put it like up here somewhere, but then we have all this blank space that we would have to put the stairs in, and then the stairs will be out of perspective. It'll be a mess. So yeah, this photo doesn't really work. So we're going to not use that photo. This photo is it's a little better because like we're seeing a little more of the sidewalk here, but there's a couple things going on. First of all, it's like tilted. The horizon line is tilted, so we gotta turn it. It's a little bit better, but the horizon line should be like up here. And this is like kind of working, and like we could fill this in with black down here. Something like that, like would kind of start to get us there. But then I saw this picture, which I feel like really, really pinged my brain because like I don't think that this particular photo. Oh my gosh, this is not what we want. I don't think that this particular photo. Is it not copying and pasting? That's weird. Oh, we're on the wrong layer. This is why I don't work with a ton of layers. This is the photo. It's of a manhole steaming. These shapes kind of give it the look of like a cobblestone street, which makes when you take out the manhole, like on this, it makes it kind of look like Raph is very, very tiny. So we need to kind of figure out how to fix that. I think that like we're just gonna like grab a color in here and then just drag or grad and black it out, like the whole thing, like that kind of. But even then, it looks like Raph is tiny. So maybe we gotta make him taller, like this. I'm not exactly sure. We can kind of like go here and try a content aware fill and see what happens. Kind of okay. Kind of okay. This might be a good place to start. And then we'll do some paint marks and kind of like blend some values and stuff. We are doing this within a mask, and the mask is letting some bleed in. So we're going to try to fix that real quick. You guys hear that train? I don't know if you could hear that train. It's going by. They're really welling on it right now. Okay, do we get the... Yeah. I just selected the white space there and expanded it a pixel. Okay. So we kind of have Raph in some context of a world. Very faintly. There it goes. That's kind of scary. So we're gonna cut these other ones. All right. So here's the question. Even though this is like a blurry kind of like photo, which is what we want, how do we make it a little more comic booky, a little more interesting? We are going to try a color gradient map. Gradient map. So like a gradient map, if you look, like all the dark parts are now going to be this color and all the light parts are going to be this color. That's how a gradient map works. And we can get in here and like really mess with it. Obviously, we don't want things like up here to be this color. So we got to figure out like kind of how we want this to work. And we might do like and we want to consider what we're working on here. This is a Raphael piece, so like we might want to stick to kind of Ninja Turtles colors. But I do also kind of want to I don't know, like, so now we're in a very narrow color scheme. Not that faintly. We're in a very narrow color scheme. This is like 4 colors. We're like real into it, but we can kind of fade the grad to add like a little bit of variation in there. So this is looking a little bit better. So I'm going to take this, and now we're going to like mess with it. We're going to try to just like, I kind of want to add some like flares, because I want to put some like rim lighting around Raphael. And I know we're like, we haven't even started working on Raph yet. Oh my God, I'm all over the place. Guys, if you haven't streamed in a while, sometimes the stream is a little rough. We can also, within this, like use all our tricks in the book. We can mess with levels, really like flare it out. Saturation. Like really get in here and like do something weird. do something weird. I kind of want to do these like, I feel like I've been doing this kind of like lens flare. This background has a 90s video game magazine ad. Yo, like, we can't help where we come from. Okay? We all got started somewhere. And for me, it was 90s video game ads. I kind of like doing this. Oh, we gotta get back here. Feather like 30. I kind of like doing these. Oh, we're just gonna move the whole thing. We're just gonna move the whole thing. Why don't we just back it up? Do a new layer. Let's set it to color dodge. Let's see how that looks. Color dodge is usually like pretty wild. And then let's flare it just a little bit. Feather, 20 pixels. Color dodge isn't really working. Let's stick to screen. I don't know if screen's really working either. What if we just... Maybe none of this is working. Is none of this working? Started from the bottom. Now we're here. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that. I think this is the watermark. We're going to try to get rid of that. Look. Let me be straight up. This can't be. I gotta get serious with you, guys. If you're making something for print, don't photo bash the background without subscribing to a stock like image site and paying money for the rights and then putting them into your comic book, because otherwise you end up in like a lot of like legal gray areas. And the worst thing you can do is just like cover the thing in watermarks that you don't even see, and then it hits print, and then you open it up and you're like, oh sweet, there's watermarks all over my art. Like, that's not the place you want to be. So do it responsibly. Don't do it like we're doing it now. Do it responsibly. Okay. All right. Now that the PSA is out of the way. It's a tricky game. It is a tricky game. I wonder why it's not... It's not looking quite the way I want it. I wonder if I need to put it under the levels in the hue. Maybe. Add some blue in there. Alright. I think that we can start to work on Raphael. Let's just select him. Select everything. I don't know if we're going to go with everything that's laid out here as it is in the flats. Let's duplicate the flats just in case we need them again. And like I said, this is a colorist jam, so, you know, if you guys want to join in, you can. Post it up on Twitter. Everybody's doing it. You want to be part of everybody? I don't know. And we want to keep Raph kind of dark, because we're gonna give him like a rim light. So let's take that. Let's we also kind of want to unify the palette. So we've got some like kind of crazy colors back here. Raph's pretty normal currently. We could just play. We could just play in the space, I guess. Trying try to like lean into what's going on here. What if we did that? A little like bright red. I don't know if that works. That doesn't work. I don't know why this is blue. We're gonna change that. I hope that we're not changing like Ninja Turtle canon. What if we kind of went more brown with this? Maybe. We also want to amp these guys up. Alright, I think this is a good place to start. What if we tried to unify the palette with like just a hard light of Nickfil fame? You know it. What's up, Major Bang Geek? What if we tried to just unify the palette with like a light blue? Just like a little bit? Like a little bit? Let's mess with this. Let's get hairy. We're in some weird zones. The zone that we're currently in is weird. Yeah, an eensy teensy bit, yeah. Like I don't even know if this is like really. I'll make it bigger so that everybody can see at home. So we're messing with an 8% hard light on top of it, and this is adding like a little bit of this color in. We're gonna do 15%. A little bit of this color into like the whole thing. It's gonna kind of roll with light and dark. It's not gonna like annihilate our tones. So, and we can kind of figure out, it almost makes it look like hollow foil. Kind of like that. Like this orange. What happens if we darken it? Kind of like that. We're going to do a thing. We're going to do a gutsy thing. Just flatten that whole thing. Now we're starting from here. Yeah, hence your name color. Yes, exactly. Man, so I thought that I was going to get this done on the weekend, but as it turned out, I got some pages that I was not expecting and kind of worked through my Sunday and then took today off. Went to the DMV, you know, glamorous colorist things that only people in comics know. Let's try multiplying this down just to get some like darkened stuff. Extra surprise work is the worst. Well, it was like stuff that I knew I would have to do. It was weird because I got pages on Saturday and then I got no pages on Sunday. So on Sunday, rather than doing this, I did I just caught up on the work. And then today we're doing this. I guess you could say orange is the black. So yeah, so it was fine. Okay, so part of the thing that I'm not really into right now is that Raph doesn't seem like grounded in the space. Like he still seems like he's hovering above it, and I think that's just because his legs are like popping from the back too much. I wonder if we just straight up like darken it up. If like he'll kind of blend a little more. Yeah. We could also try like Man, the screen looks so bad in RGB. He kind of looks like a stamp on the background image. Yeah, I can see it. I think we're gonna try a thing when we're done at the very end. That's hopefully going to blend him and root him in the space a little bit more. Um, you know what? Let me think about something. What if we open up Adobe Bridge? Don't let you guys in on all my secrets. So I've got a folder of light here. These are kind of like just like camera blurry light photo stuff. I wonder if laying one of these on top might be kind of interesting. Oh, we can close this now. Look how far away from, like, when you just stamp in whatever background, like, you do yourself a disservice. You really want to own it. Like, this is so far from this now. Like, we are genuinely making something else. And that's where you want to be if you are gonna do this kind of thing. So let's see. It's like maybe your training card in Pokemon. I would not know. I'm not a Pokemon master. I don't know if this is working for what I want it to do. We're gonna get rid of it. That was a mistake. Don't look at that. Wait, was it a mistake because it wasn't on the top level? What if we put it on the top level? We want to crunch the blacks and then set it to screen so that the blacks turn transparent. Oh, maybe this is what we want. Maybe we do want this. Not as obnoxious as this, but maybe we want some version of this, perhaps. Faded back a little. I don't know. We might want something like this. I don't know that we want this, but we might want something like this. Let's just get into Raph. Let's just get into him. What's he about? How's he living? Let's tweak this stuff because I think it's supposed to be metal or like a tan. That kind of works a little better. It's a J.J. Abrams piece. Yeah, practically. He eats pizza all day. I recently had some pizza. It was very nice. Man, all the colors look really wrong to me. And it's because I'm not working in my print settings. It's really funny. I don't think we're going to keep... J.J. Abrams eat pizza all day? Wouldn't you? If you had that kind of fame? Alright. We gotta start rendering. Where's my pen? All your favorite childhood memories rebooted thanks to the power of pizza. You wish he had guns like Raphael? Are you talking about his sweet arms? Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Oh my god, I hate that this is like this. These flats literally murdering me. All these little fuzzes and stuff. This kind of isn't what you want in flats, but we're rolling with it because it's the colorist jam. A lot of these fuzzes and things, it's kind of not really where you want to be. So what do we want? What do we want? I don't know if you guys did you guys ever read Simon Beasley's Body Count? That's Raphael and Casey Jones just going on like a crazy murder rampage. It's great. Raphael eventually comes to grips with the fact that guns are a way better way to kill a bunch of people, and so he decides he's going to use an Uzi, but he can't fit his dang turtle finger through the like trigger guard, so he has to rip the trigger guard off, and then he's like blowing people. It's so good. It's just classic comics, and Simon Beasley illustrates the shit out of it. It's so good. It's one of my favorites. I think it just got like a reissue. You should look it up if you're a Ninja Turtle fan, and you want something a little more adult. They got you. His fingers are too big for guns. Not if you take the trigger guard off. I'm just gesturing this stuff in. I was going to go in all careful, but who wants to be careful? Not me. Heck that. Heck it straight to heck. We want like a loud rim light. Hey Eric, what's up? How you doing, man? It's good to see you. We're gonna do like a loud rim light kind of thing, and then kind of a softer core highlight. Kind of get like a 2 light source thing going. But we're being real loose because we want to go general to specific. We'll tighten it up. All right. Why be dangerous? Yeah. Careful is for people who are worried. You think we have that fear? You joke, but like, man, so much of art is just getting over the fear of like, can I do this? Should I do this? You know, like that kind of stuff. Like it gets in your head. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I was a kid growing up with a lot of art. I needed somebody to tell me how to do it. You know what I mean? Like I needed clear directions, and it took me a long time for me to realize, oh, no one's gonna give you permission. Just like bang this out. You know? Just do what you want to do, man. As long as it's like interesting and engaging, like that's the whole game. Yeah, I actually just recently Matt Garvey posted some pieces in my Discord where he was like, hey, can I get a critique on this? Which is, there's a room in my Discord for people who subscribe to this Twitch channel, and I will put some eyes on your work. And if you have some pages and stuff, if it's like a full portfolio, we can do some portfolio reviews. I'm going to start doing that again. If you're new to the channel and you're looking for portfolio reviews, and I'll review stuff that is like line art and stuff like that. Doesn't have to be color. I did a lot of art school. I look at a lot of line art. I can tell you if you are having basic problems. Anyway, he gave me some pieces that he was working on, and on a lot of them, he was like, he had the right idea, like he was doing the right thing, but he was like, I'm gonna do this at a 3 when he should have been doing it at a 10, and I think that experience is one of the great like nullifiers of that. Like the more experience you get, the more you realize, oh, I can push it here. Oh, I can like really push it. Oh, what can I get away with? You start thinking things like you could start getting in that headspace. Once you've made like X amount of safe art, like you start to be like, okay, like this is boring now. What's the next thing? That's what drives me nuts with some artists, like who I feel like just grind out the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. I'm like, I don't know how you can keep doing this. How like some artists turn into like it's almost like a factory worker. Like I'm not here for that. I'm here to get wild. You know? Start pushing boundaries. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly. Exactly. I don't know if we're going to do too much bounce light on the shell just because I don't know exactly what to do here. So, don't ask permission. Just like get in there and get crazy. Rarely think we need to make Raph pink just really go crazy. Maybe not pink. Maybe not pink. But very, very rarely do I see an artist who is like playing it too crazy. You know what I mean? Like where I'm like, whoa, guy, you gotta simmer down and slow down. You're too crazy. You gotta keep it rooted in reality. And that like barely ever happens. Usually people who are new at art, or like kind of new to doing it professionally, are just really careful. I don't know. Hey, speaking of stuff that's not playing it careful, I just read Dracula Motherfucker, drawn and colored by Erica Henderson. Whoo, man, that's a book. That book is a banger. It's so good. Erica, the way she was doing pages on it, like she wrote a little thing at the end where she was talking about how she was making thumbnails. She was talking about page turns. So in comics, like nailing a page turn is kind of a big deal. Like you want one page turn, one set of 2 pages to lead into the next set of 2 pages. And if there's like a big surprise, you don't want to have it on page 2 because like, or, page 4, because it's like, oh, you're reading the thing. You go from page 2, you turn the page and you see the surprise before you read it. So you want to be able to turn the page and see the surprise and then read it. You want to like nail that page turn. So she said in her in the back of Dracula Motherfucker that she started working in making layouts as 2 pages, which is something that like I've never thought of before, but it's like, it's just like, oh yeah, sure. I don't know why that isn't just standard, So I thought it was really interesting. And she was also saying that makes like total sense. Yeah, exactly. It's just like, oh, why were we thinking about 20 layouts when we should have been thinking about 10 double layouts? It makes too much sense. Yeah, it has to be wrong. But in addition to that, she also said that she was working in the color at the layout stage in cases, which that book has like a looseness to the color that is like really interesting and dynamic and very moody. Yeah, it's I can't say enough good things about that book. It's a shorter read. It's only like a actual 50-page comics. Like once you take out all the, you know, stuff in the front, stuff in the back, you know, that kind of stuff. Once you take that stuff out, it's only 50 pages. So I could see why someone would be like, hemming and hawing over the price. But like those 50 pages are so good that like you really shouldn't hem and haw over the price, because I'm sure you've spent a lot more money on worse pages in your lifetime. Yeah, book's a banger. And it's got Dracula in it, and his brides, and a lot of blood, and it's super fun. Yeah, can't recommend it enough. I've been putting did we just get dramatic? Maybe. Moody and Dracula. I don't know if this worked yet. But it's also like it's Moody and Dracula, and then also like this 70s palette. Because it's set in the 70s. It's wild. The book is wild. Y'all should read it. So we did kind of a blue bounce light. We're kind of keeping it warm and cool, getting that to work together. I don't like it. We're going to not do that. Let's try an orange. What if we did a green? What if we did a red? Red makes sense, right? It's Raphael. I don't know. What if we just warm it up? Just warm it up. Are we doing things too similar to what other people in the jam have done? Nonsense. We're just powering through. If it's too similar to the other stuff in the jam, we're just powering through. Red Fia. Oh no. Sometimes, man, one of the things that trips me up sometimes in art is, I think, okay, if everybody is doing one thing, I should do another. Like I should go a different direction. I should zig while everyone's zagging. And like sometimes you just got to do the thing that works, you know? And a lot of times the thing that works is the same thing that like a lot of other people are going to kind of fall into. For example, I feel like I lean on alternating color schemes for different scenes, hot and cool. I do that a lot. So sometimes you don't got to reinvent the wheel. Yeah. I do a lot of like, you know, so it'll be warm in one scene, cool in the next, warm in one scene, cool in the next. You get a lot of like good variation that way. And sometimes I'm like, I'm gonna break that mold, and like sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. The other thing that I was having this conversation actually with Andy McDonald, and he was like, because I was saying that it wasn't exactly like this. It was something along the lines of sometimes I feel as a colorist, I'm just like, here we go, another green scene, another blue scene, you know. You want to write a completely new thought. Sometimes you just got to go over the phrasing the book uses. Yeah. So I kind of got like trapped in this. We got to figure out his face. What's wrong with your face? I felt like I was getting trapped in like, you know, using the same colors over and over again. But like, in my defense, it's a color wheel, and your eyes only can handle so much. Like, I can't make a new color. You guys at home right now, can you just take a second, 1 second, and try to think of a new color? Can you do it? What color is it? Describe it to me. leave it in the comments. I don't know. Sometimes you gotta go full gradient madness, like Dark Knight Strikes Again. Hey, hey. In this stream, we celebrate big swings. Oh, it's blue? Oh, good. I can't make it. Not with that attitude. Ultraviolet is technically not a color we can see. Well, how does that help me paint a room? We're gonna paint Raph in ultraviolet so that you can't see him. Come on, man. So all right, I was talking to Andy, and I was like, man, sometimes I feel like I'm just kind of banging out the same thing over and over again, like, blue room, green room, like action starts. I feel this way a lot too with superhero comics, because superhero comics have a rhythm to them. It's kind of maroon, kind of purple, kind of green. It's merpling. Oh no, that just sounds like brown. Superhero comics have a rhythm to them, and they will. Is this working? Is that too red? Should we green this up? Maybe? Maybe? Ultra violent, yeah. Man, that body count book was ultra violent. Yeah, so I was like, yeah, I feel like I just do the same kind of work over and over again. And he was like, dude, he's like, I feel the same way sometimes. He was like, with some poses and things. He was like, sometimes, Wolverine comes out and he pops his claws. He's got that like the classic claw pop look thing going on, and it's just like, sometimes that's the thing that works, Like, so you don't gotta reinvent the wheel every time. We're gonna dial this back just a little. It's like that Lost in Translation where Bill Murray's character gets a long thematic scene direction from a Japanese director, and the translator says, "Turn to camera." Yeah, exactly. Sometimes a mood is just a color, vice versa. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough because you do want to like reinvent and like change up what you're doing, but it's tough to navigate that sometimes. I don't know. That want to try to do something like that though, like, keeps you on your toes, keeps you coming back to art. I guess we're just gonna work the raft from the top down. We're just gonna work them from the top down. And like this, super, super sloppy. But it's like, I don't know. Are we really going to be checking out his gold chain? Like, you can kind of get in here and just kind of like gesture it in. A lot of, you can get like kind of caught in the weeds a lot of times, with a lot of art. And sometimes you don't really need to get in those weeds. Sometimes you find you were in the weeds for a long time and you really did not need to be. One of the first books I worked on was this book called Godland, and I was like getting lost in these It was very like Kirby-esque. It was drawn by Tom. I'm gonna butcher his last name. Sicoli, I believe that's his last name. Um, I don't think I've ever said his last name out loud before. Anyway, he was doing like these Kirby-esque drawings, and it's like a lot of detail, a lot of piping and stuff. And I was like killing myself, especially early in my career when I was like not as dexterous as I am now. I was killing myself like getting into the weeds of like all these pipes and stuff, and then like, hey Brightblade, and then I realized, oh, like just recently, looking back on some old work, I was like, man, I remember beating myself up about this, and I'm looking at it now. None of that stuff mattered. None of it mattered. It mattered in like a few handful of places, but mostly was just kind of there, and I didn't need to really get into it. And I feel like that's experience too. That's just like, I need to do it and figure it out before I learn to not do it anymore or something. I don't know. There's guidance in there somewhere, I think. I think. All right. We're kind of doing a top-down light, so trying to keep that in mind. Here's the thing too with like getting loose, like we did in the initial beginning here. Do I use a flatter on my coloring gigs? I do. His name is Joel Bartlett. He's been doing really well for me. I've been using Yes Flat for a while. They are a Korean flatting service. But then I was like, you know what? A, I want a flatter I can communicate with. And B, I would like to hire somebody here in America. And I would also like to hire somebody who might want to do comics someday. So whenever, and Joel is he's turning out to be a pretty competent colorist himself, and whenever he graduates up from flatting to doing his own thing, I'll probably find somebody else to pull up, give a little bit of experience too, hopefully. Yeah, he actually, I really like his flats because, and I pay him a little extra for this stuff. He'll like kind of break down figures from backgrounds in a separate layer as well, which saves me a ton of time. But yeah, it's good to get loose because, like we did in the beginning, because sometimes when you're loose, you open yourself up to like happy accidents. I don't know. But I actually, speaking of flatters, I've actually also been kind of playing around with not having flatters. Just kind of like going in and figuring out the space from like a painterly perspective, just like is this something? We had a little texture to him in the shines. I think that's something. That's something. Yeah, I've actually been I've been watching some painters online on YouTube, like concept design painters, and also actual paint, like not digital painters, like painters. Trying to figure out what we're gonna do with that bandage. I don't know what we're gonna do with it. I guess that's fine. I don't know. And a lot of them will start with, and we're kind of getting that with the arm and the skin tone here. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell at home after like Twitch crunches all the color and everything, but we have reds in here, and this is like on a blue aqua side, and then this stuff's like a green yellow. So we kind of like a variation of color in here that I think is interesting, and the only way you get that is by layering color on top of each other, like, and trying to figure that out, like but also, I will say, real quick, that I've definitely experimented with layering color like that, and it's gone real bad. Like, you will screw that up sometimes. Let me tell you. Looks great. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate you for being here too. Maybe we do some more like bounce light in here, and it's looking too separate. The muscle groups have to still go together at the end of the day. All right, let's do the same for his legs. Let's get in there. Hey, Kelly. My dog is here. You can't see her on stream. I was thinking about setting up another camera so you could see that girl. Hi. Oh. Just a sweetheart. She is a sweetheart. Man, I still gotta change the... Okay, so the reason I did is head and arms first, by the way. She's a mix. She's like a shepherd mix. She's very sweet. Just have to do my jam. Haven't found the time. Don't worry about it, man. Do it when you can do it. The cool thing about the colorist jam is that you can do them anytime, and you can do them in any order. Like, there's no rules to it. And if you use the hashtag, it'll get retweeted by the colorist jam account, which is brand new, and I think also run by the shadowy guild of colorist illuminatists. So like they'll see it. And I was actually thinking about this. The thing that I kind of like about the colorist jam is, especially for like newer people who want to like showcase their work, if you like want to break into comics, like a colorist jam is like a perfect thing for that, because not only are you like trying to showcase your work and like putting it online and like people are seeing it on Twitter, but it would not surprise me if like the guard prevail. Oh my god, are we getting raided? We're getting followed. Raided with 69 people. Oh my god. How's it going, everyone? Thank you for the raid, David. Is this mouse guard? Is that what's happening right now? Oh god. How's it going? um, what I was saying was, I can imagine there will be a time when editors or people who are looking to hire colorists are like looking at the Colorist Jam account and seeing like if they like some stuff. You know, I can imagine like there might be a time when somebody could get hired from the Colorist Jam account. So follow the Colorist Jam account. It's at Colorist Jam on Instagram and Twitter. And, when you get around to it, do some jamming. You've done some TMT work. You're drawn to this piece to raid me? Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. I've done some TMT work too. I did some Mutanimals with Andy Kuhn, but that's it. I would love to do more, but I like just having the schedule line up with has been really hard. Raph is looking awesome. Thank you very much. Yeah, I really liked working on that Mutanimals book with Andy, and I feel like Andy is also something about his work like worms its way into my brain in a way that like not a lot of other work does, where like he just like embraces shapes in a way that I don't see a lot of artists. This is like nonsense that I'm spouting right now. He likes shapes, Andy. That Andy Kuhn. No, the way that he creates these shapes makes it so that it lends itself to color really well. Like I always have a really easy time coloring him. Like he cartoons in such a way where it's kind of like I don't even want to say boxed off because it's not that. It's just the way he draws, just who he is. I don't know. He's a good dude too. Like Magnola Oming, yeah. I color a ton of Oming, if you don't know. I colored I've colored Oming on Powers for the last 15 years. We also did a book called The Victories together. Matt Smith, yeah. I've never worked with Magnola, but I did do some BPRD work. Now I'm just bragging. I'll stop bragging because I hate it when people do that. It's like, great, yeah, you know everybody. Ugh. No, it drives me crazy when people name drop. Did you like the Powers TV show? It was tough in the beginning. I watched the first season and I didn't catch the second. I think that it was good for what it was, and I think the second season, from what I saw, I didn't watch the whole thing. From what I saw, was a big step in the right direction. But the problem is that a lot of people kind of expect television to be like fully thought out from the get-go now. Like you don't see a whole lot of like rocky pilots or rough first seasons anymore. He's really easy to mod for. Oh, nice. Cool, Shane. So I feel like they were kind of finding like how to make a noir show in the first season, and like the writing was solid, but just like it could have been like a little darker. And then they were up against the new Daredevil came out at the time, and it was like the Netflix Daredevil show was like tonally perfect, you know. And so it was tough to be like, you guys should watch Powers, because like it just didn't come together exactly how it should. And I know that like it also needed 2 or 3 times the budget. Yeah, exactly. I also know that like Mike and Brian both took more of a lead with the second season as opposed to the first. And also, I will say this: making things is hard. Sometimes you set out with the best intentions and you try to make a thing, and for whatever reason, you like my pen just decided to not be my pen anymore. For whatever reason, it turns into more of a learning experience than anything else. But yeah. So that's a really long answer to be like, I liked it, asterisks. I will say that like because I had been a fan of Powers for so long, and then when I was working on Powers, like I was reading Powers from day one. When I was in high school, I picked up the first issue, and we're gonna try to drown out the feet just a little bit once we're done. So I'm trying not to be too precious with what's going on over here. Yeah, so I was a big fan from the start, and then I started working on it, and it was really cool to see like characters that like were so near to me. Like I don't, obviously Mike and Brian, like Powers is their baby, and like I hitched along for the ride for a lot of it, but I was still like reading it and loving it, and like it was a thrill just to see those characters on screen. Like even that was worth the price of admission to me for the Powers television show. All right. Let's back up. Let's do the shell. I'm not going to go too crazy on the shell because Ramon put all these tattoos and stuff in here, and so I don't want to like drown it out with a ton of rendering. So we're just going to go very, very quickly through it. We're getting kind of close to the end. And we're going to try to do some things to root Raph into the space a little more once we get to the end. But we got to kind of get everything else down on here first, and then I'll show you what I want to do. And we'll see if it works. I don't know if it's going to work or not. Part of what makes art super fun is that, and also infinitely frustrating, is that sometimes you're like, is this going to work? Is this not going to work? Am I going to be all right? What's the deadline? Oh God, why? That's what makes art fun. All right. So we're getting in here. So I'm for anybody who is still sticking around for the art jam. I'm a colorist by trade, but I have been trying to expand into other things. I've been doing some drawing lately. We put together. I wrote, drew, inked, gray toned, hand lettered 4-page comic as kind of like a proof of concept. I'm trying to shake the rust off. Like I went to art school and kind of did all this stuff. Like it just flew out of me. It was just like water. And now I'm kind of like, now that I've been working in Photoshop for so long, I'm kind of like, what actually is my process still? Like, what am I doing? And also, in all of that, trying to figure out how to write comics again. Or not again, for like the first time. Man, I just did, I sat down to write like an 8-page horror thing for like the next piece. I'm trying to go small to large. So I did like a 4-pager, learned some lessons, and then I was like, I'm going to do an 8-pager, double the size. And learn some more lessons. And I sat down to do this 8-pager, wrote it, it needed a 9th page, so I added it. Then I sent it to a friend of mine, and he gave me some notes on the writing that like really kind of broke my brain in a good way. Pro tip: reach out to your friends. This is something that was difficult for me because I am not a super social person. I really like sitting down. You've been doing a lot more drawing than coloring recently? Cool. It all helps. Like, Firefox, thank you for the follow. And Miguel followed me 11 minutes ago, and Adventure Ryan followed me 11 minutes. Wow. Joy the Saint. I'm sorry I missed all these. Probably from the raid. That's cool that you're doing a little drawing rather than coloring. I think that no matter what you do, as long as you're doing art consistently, the better you get at all of it, the more like the rising tide happens. You know, like I will say that like I've been coloring for 15 years and not doing a lot of drawing. And my drawings now after coloring, like I understand volume so much better than I did when before 15 years of coloring. Like it made my work a little better. Put a little shines on these. And I will say too, since I started drawing, my rendering got better. Because I was thinking about it was like a dual, like because I was rendering, my drawing got better, and then when I was focusing on drawing, my rendering got better. It feeds itself. The best thing you can do, I think this is true of anything. If you're feeling stagnant with any aspect of comics, just try doing everything. Like just break out of what you're doing and just try everything. Really nice to hear that you're expanding your techniques. It's almost like seeing that DJ really good at picking the songs and eventually starts to learn music, producing, trying. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I sent it to my buddy. Oh, this is what I was going to say is one of the things that I didn't realize when I started was that developing like friends to bounce ideas off of is huge. It is a crazy advantage. If you try to do this alone, like it will be hard for you. Harder than it has to be. Like holy poop, that's sick. Thank you. Thank you for the poop. Appreciate it. Yeah, I got a quick note about like what I was doing as far as like building the outlines and stuff, and it made me think about everything differently, and I like instantly leveled up. And it was such like a little note, but it was exactly the thing that I needed to hear. It was great. So if you want in this game, you will get better faster with good mentors around you, good peers. Thank you for the follow, Zoom Joe. So now I'm like, hey, I want to write more. So I'm going to write some more stuff. And with this in mind, I have another script I'm going to revise. And so I do this professionally. I do comic coloring professionally, but we're going to try to do some other stuff on stream as well. Hey, did you hear George Jima's mini documentary on DC? He mentions exactly what you said, that his work was amateur at best before He started to talk with local pros. Yeah, exactly. Like, it will really, man, it's tough too because like I am really bad at reaching out. And in fact, I've talked about this before, but like I was not doing some great work, and I was also not going to shows, and I started going to Comic Cons, and obviously nobody can do Comic Cons right now, except for if you're in New Zealand, maybe. They seem to be handling the world being on fire pretty well. Anyway, once I started going to Comic Cons, I was like, oh, I need to be like, not only like seeing everybody's work made me be like, not only made me reinvest myself into like, I want to be a part of this community and I want to earn my place at the table, but it also made me like so inspired by like seeing all the different techniques and being like, hey, I wonder if I could do that but do it this way, or I wonder if I could incorporate something like that into my work. And you just end up growing really, really quickly. I think anybody that tries to make art in a bubble they're doing themselves a disservice. You remember cons? Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you this. Don't like I don't miss carrying like bags and stuff like that. Like I oh man. The like physicality of cons drives me fucking crazy. Here's the thing. Here's the thing with professional artists. We get very comfortable being at home and not having to like carry things, not having to like physically get outside of our comfort zone. And cons will be like, hey, you're very comfortable? Well, how about you lift this bag down this New York City block, and also the block is packed with people and it's uphill. Good luck, buddy. Cons will do that. That's not the fun stuff. I don't miss that stuff. Exchange experiences, absolutely, absolutely. Uh, the other thing, like even beyond, like the touchy feely, I'm here for you, buddy, like exchange experiences, like even just getting to know people will get you gigs. Like you'll get recommended for things. You'll be like, oh, uh, I met Nick at this show. He was a nice guy. We hung out. We shared a beer. I wonder if he's free. I'll send him an email. That kind of stuff. Man, cons. Simultaneously the best and worst thing ever. Real pros use an unpaid intern to carry stuff. Oh man, I gotta get up to that real pro status. How many books do I gotta make before I get real pro status? Uh, your Jim Lee's. I bet Jim Lee doesn't have to carry anything anymore. So okay, Jim Lee doesn't have to carry anything anymore. However, I was at a show once and I walked into like the backstage like green room area, and Jim was there with a couple other people. He was signing like a stack of posters, and I don't know if you've ever seen this, but like there'll be a stack and he'll have a pen and he'll sign it, and then somebody will move it, and then he'll sign it, and then somebody will move it to the next one and he'll sign it, and he's signing in the same place while somebody else is like moving the down the stack. And my heart went out to Jim, because let me tell you, he did not look like he was having a great time doing that. Did not look like what he wanted to be doing with his time, but we all make sacrifices, I guess. Doesn't have to carry anything. Does have to sign a bunch of posters for nerds. Oh boy, yeah. Yeah, Priscilla. Yeah. Their clients at your Blockbuster. hey, quit this and do comics. You want to talk about it? That's funny, Diatra. Uh, I almost got to work with Priscilla just recently, but it kind of fell apart, unfortunately. I hope that we are able to work with each other again in the future, though. The price of being a huge guy. Yeah, Alex Ross has an entourage carrying his stuff and handing him fresh towels and water with lemons. Whew, that's that good life. I gotta get. I'll know I've made it when I get like a. I used to be like, when I was like starting to break into comics, I was like, once I get my Marvel gig, then I'll know I made it. You know, and maybe I was wrong this whole time. Maybe I'll know I've made it once I get that water with lemon handed to me at a show. I do wonder if he has the internal ka-ching after every signature. No, here's the thing. I don't think he needs any more money. I think that he does it because he loves cons and he loves the people there, and it may suck in the moment, but like handing them out has got to be like a real pleasure. And I know Jim just loves the community and loves people digging his work and everything. Yeah, he's a good dude. If you guys ever get a chance to see him at a show or whatever, say hi. The first time I ever talked to Jim Lee, it was like one of my first shows in New York City. One of my first shows, period. I had maybe a single book, maybe two, and maybe 5 issues total. To my name, and I kind of like conned my way. I don't know if I told this story on stream before. I kind of like conned my way into this like dinner, mostly riding on the coattails of the writer of one of those books. And hey, magnetic snake, your name is a mouthful. And because the writer like knew a bunch of people. And was like starting his writing career writing comics, but had already had like the connections. And they were like, oh yeah, Nick, you come along. Kind of tagged along, and it was like a lot of like high level prose. It was probably like, I want to say like 15 people ish thereabouts, and there was a lot of like legit prose that were in that group. And I was just like, I'm just going to chill out, and whoever talks to me. Like, whatever. If they're going to talk amongst themselves, that's fine. I will just eavesdrop and eat my food. And like, this is just a weird, surreal experience. So, but while I was mentally prepared for that, Jim Lee like snuck to the back of the group and was like, hey, what's your name? I was like, Nick. And he was like, what do you do? And I was like, oh, I'm a colorist. And I'm like, I've like done like 4 books. And he was like, cool. He was like asking me all these questions and like just shooting the shit. He was like the nicest guy. And like, I was nobody, like I did not warrant like, he wasn't going to get anything out of talking to me. No, there was no networking to be had. And he was, yeah, right. And he was just so nice. And then we got to the restaurant, and he was like, Nick, you're sitting up here with me. And sat down next to him. And then he was like, we're doing tequila shots. And then I did one, and I chased it because I was young, and I was like, I don't know how to take a shot. And he was like, we're doing another round. You screwed it up. Like, it was, he was just the nicest guy. I can't say enough nice things about him. He just really went above and beyond like what what a person normally does. Just really good dude. And it was like those kinds of moments, like as a creator, especially a creator starting out, like that kind of stuff like puts fuel in your tank for so like I ran like emotionally I ran on that moment, that dinner, probably for like the next year and a half. I was like, comics will work. I'll make it work. It's fine. I had dinner with Jim Lee. It's fine. Like, we'll get it. I don't even know if he remembers that moment or not. But yeah. It was good, and it got me through a lot of the beginnings of my career being really rough. Felt the same way. You had a similar thing at a con? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that kind of stuff is great for conventions. Part of the reason why I try to be as polite and responsive and present and good with not only with fans but with other professionals, no matter what their level, is because of that experience with Jim Lee and all my experiences with Mike Oming. Mike's like the nicest guy ever. Uh, he's like those that experience with Jim Lee and watching Mike like just be Mike basically. Kind of like mapped my how to interact with people at shows and how to get the most out of shows. And it's good to be a nice person. Thank you, Shannon.
Just be kind.
Yeah, be kind. Just be kind. Um, Jim's bi-monthly Twitch streams are a highlight of the month for you. Yeah, he's a good guy. He's very chill. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Tell us Jim Lee's favorite condiment. No, I don't know. All I remember is really drinking a lot of tequila. Um, and I had not drunk a lot of tequila before that, and that was an experience as well.
Well, I just finished all the boiled peanuts.
Yeah, man, cons. What a ride. I have even though I know quite a bit of people in the industry now, I still, by the way, have anxiety with, uh, like, am I going to the right dinner? Like that kind of anxiety. Like, uh, I only recently have kind of emotionally, kind of gotten over that. I was talking to Chris Sabella, who's a writer. Hey, what's up, Shin? Thank you for the follow. Um, Chris Sabella, he wrote Heartthrob, which is a book I worked on with Robert Wilson IV. Um, I was talking to him, and I was all nervous about like getting to the right party or getting to the right dinner or whatever, and he was like, I was like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing for dinner? And he was like, I'm gonna get a pizza and sit alone in my room and just be quiet for a little while. And I was like, it, like that idea did not occur to me. Like in my mind, I was like, gotta get to the thing, gotta get to the thing. And then when he was like, oh, I'm just gonna sit and be quiet and just like recharge, I was like, oh, that sounds really good. It's like I kind of want to go to that. And he was like, you can come by, we'll have pizza, just like be chill. I was like, yeah, that sounds like exactly what I want, actually. All right, let's pull some color out of this. Let's try to root Raph in the scene just a little bit. We're gonna try to put some like smoke down, just like a little bit. But also, I kind of want to, here, we're also going to try to make the hand pop a little bit. I don't want to put smoke down here because we're gonna do that anyway. We're gonna fix it with a mask. Where I didn't want to put smoke was where the light was, because I want the lights to flare. I want them to be interesting. So don't know why this isn't black. There we go. You want the lights to flare. You want them to be interesting. So we're going to do that. And then, yeah, so Sabella, who's a pretty successful writer, saying like, oh yeah, fuck the dinner scene, made me kind of realize like it took all the pressure off me, where I was like, I got a network, and I was like, why am I doing this to myself? The best way to network, by the way, in case you guys are curious, the two best pieces of advice that I've gotten for Comic Cons and trying to get work is, first thing is never ask for work, never do it. The second you ask for work is the second the person who's trying to relax is like, So yeah, you don't want to do that. The second thing is, you'd be surprised, like, how just hanging out with your friends will yield work. Like, just be a normal person, chill the fuck out, and you'll be fine. All right, so we kind of smoked out the bottom a little bit. I removed his hand. If you see the mask, like there's the hand. I kind of like brought that forward a little bit. Try to create a little depth with it. Where's the smoke? Here it is. I'm gonna put like a little bit in there too. Oh my god, what's happening right now? I selected a brush and things are getting bad. Please don't crash. Whew. Pray to Adobe. Uh-oh.
Huh?
Uh-oh.
What?
I don't know. This might crash.
Did you just go offline?
No. Oh my god. Did I lose this thing? Oh no. Did we ever save it? We never saved it. Burn it down. Cancel it. Cancel the jam.
Mercury is in retrograde right now.
I want to stress this for a second. This hasn't happened to me in a long time. I can't remember the last time Photoshop crashed on me. Yeah, it's definitely crashed. My whole body won't unclench. You and me both, bud. Hey, what's up? Let's check out that task manager, huh? Oh. This is gonna hurt me more than it hurts you, Raph. Yeah. All right. Good thing Photoshop recovered it in a timely fashion. Bless the Photoshop gods. We're about, looks like 20 minutes back, 15 minutes back. Maybe we should save it. I don't know. Just save it. Save it anywhere. Anywhere is fine. Where'd my pen go? This is a disaster. If that would have been black and white again. If we opened it up and it was black and white, I would have just switched to Resident Evil. Like, we would have just started playing video games. All right. We're gonna retrace our steps a little bit. Maybe do it a little quicker than we normally would have. I've been wanting to play some spooky games, but my wonderful in-laws were in town, and then we did a bunch of stuff together, and because of that, I haven't had a lot of time to play stuff on stream or do stuff on stream. So, and I want to hit a goal of like making a lot of content that is, comic coloring and things like that. Making comics. That's the priority. And then I was like, oh, when I have time, I'll do some. I'll stream some games. I'm wanting to stream some like spooky games for this spooky time that we live in. However, things have not shaken out that way. Is anything going to be more terrifying than what just happened? Good point. Solid point. Okay, we're going to take like a purple in here. Yeah, Man, I wonder if the Kyle Webster brush like chugged it. I don't know. Is it going to do it again? Are we living in the hellscape? That is... We need a lighter color. We're going to actually do something that I learned from George... God, I'm going to butcher his name. Gemez? Diatro was mentioning him earlier. He does a lot of stuff to like... He uses blur more than any other artist I've noticed. And we're going to try to use that to help ground Raph in the scene. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I don't think any moment in Resident Evil is going to be... Oops, sorry for bumping the mic. Is going to be scarier than Photoshop crashing. Thankfully, we were able to recover a lot of it. I actually... I got a pretty beefy PC. I don't know why it would crash. We're going to fade this back just a little bit because 75%, because it was kind of overpowering the scene. All right, I'm gonna flatten it. This is how I do blur. I don't know if it's the right way to do blur. So I flatten it, copy it, and paste it. So this layer, oh, I don't know why it jiggles. Why does it jiggle? That's weird. Commence the jiggling. I wonder if that has to do with the photo in the background. I don't know. Anyway. It's still jiggling. This is going to drive me nuts. Because this needs to be on task. I don't know why it's doing that. There we go. Now we're pixel perfect. Okay. No more jiggling. No more jiggling. So the way I do blur. Oh yeah, I've lost entire page. Like, there's been some days early in my career where before Photoshop would recover things. Let's save again. Where I just lost like half a day's work, and I'd just be like, "Welp, I'm done for the day." So I take what I was saying is how I do blur is I'll flatten it, copy it, paste it on top. Okay, now that we've pasted it on top, I will blur the whole thing. Do a Gaussian blur. Let's get it like that. And then I'll mask it. So we'll go into the mask. And we'll just kind of just like mess with it until it looks like it's right. We were not using the right. Okay. Just try to get like some of the details to kind of come through. I kind of hate the shoes. I should have fixed the shoes before we got to this point, because this is very much like a like end of the thing. But that's fine. It's fine. We're just gonna roll with these terrible shoes. So he kind of has like a little blurred edge to him around him, but he's got like tight line art where we want focus, and it fits too with like the blurred background. We can actually unblur him more. Whoop, that's not what we wanted to do. We wanted to be here. Come on, Photoshop. There we go. Yeah, just trying to give him more of like a street kind of vibe with like blurriness and like smoke and the lights here. I kind of want to just see. We're just gonna see. Like if we overlay some shines like this, like how's it look? How's it look? Oh, no. No. How do I ban you? Hey, I don't have any. Do I have any mods? The outro, I'm gonna mod you. I can't even mod. This is a disaster. Is one swoosh on the, oh yeah, it's not colored. We should match it. We're gonna, oh my god. Alright, we're backing it up. The shoes are a big part of this. We're gonna fix the shoes. We're fixing the shoes. Hold on one second. I have to figure out how to, lock this person. There we go. There we go. I got there eventually. I usually have a couple mods in the channel, but looks like mods are sleeping today. Tell me about it, Kelly. All right, let's fix the shoes. The shoes have to be good looking. Ridiculously good looking. I'm not really a shoes guy. So I don't know what that means for it to be ridiculously good looking. But we're just gonna venture our best guess. I guess that means blue. I'm being incredibly loose with this. I guess that means blue. Oh, thank you for the follow, Corey. And by the way, if you guys are aspiring artists and colorists and oh no, Matt Wilson broke my brain. That jerk. I started making my shoes look like his shoes from his jam. Wilson. What I was saying is, if you guys are aspiring colorists or aspiring comic people, I run a Discord. I'm in there every day because I am sitting in this chair nearly every day doing work. So even if it's been a while since I've streamed and you're like, oh, I got a question about something, I'm in there, and I'm also able to be DM'd in there, and you know, you guys can come ask questions about comics. I recently, if you are a subscriber here, there's a portfolio review room, and you can drop portfolios in there, and I will review them on stream if you want, or off stream, whatever you're comfortable with. I like to do them on stream because it helps other people as well. But even if you just gotta like ask a question, you don't have to be a subscriber for that. I recently answered some questions about some payment stuff that somebody was like, "Is this normal? Is this regular?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's normal. You'll be fine." Let's get the swoosh. Okay. So yeah, if you're interested in having that available to you, it is available to you in the Discord. The link for the Discord is down below in the About section for this channel. All right. The shoes look a little better. Turn on the smoke. Questions like, hey man, I can't hire you. I've given you my best tips to get hired. Appreciate the hustle though. All right, let's add a little bit of. Oh, you know what? Let's do the blur first. All over again. Merge it, copy it, paste it. Again, it is not pixel perfect. I don't know why it did that. You know, Photoshop. Today, you and I are not really getting along. Perfect. Pixel perfect. Okay. Let's blur it. I'm trying to be comfortable with more aggressive. Is this even blurring? Oh, it's 42%. That's why I'm like, why isn't this working? I'm trying to be more comfortable with getting aggressive with the line art, like this kind of stuff. This like damaging the line art. Because I feel like a lot of mainstream comics like lean into this a good bit. Not necessarily blur, but like just like effects, you know? Anything to make it kind of like realistic. There used to be a time when stuff like this was really frowned upon, and I think that it was not because the technique is bad, but because it was just used in a ham-fisted way, and so people were like, "Oh, don't do that ever," you know. Yeah, like I think this roots Raph in the space a little bit better. It like makes the edges a little fuzzier on Raph, but we can still like pop his eye, because that's where we want you ultimately. Let's add a little glow on top. A little glow on the sides here. Maybe like an orange. Or even a red, because he's Raphael. That makes sense. I know what's going on. It's fine. Yeah, I think we're close to getting done. I kind of want to polish up this side just a little bit. Just make it like kind of pop forward just a bit. This is extremely rough on the line art. I'm sorry, Ramon and Nick Dragotta. Apologies. But yeah, when I was starting, I was like trying to do something like this, where I was like really rough and destructive on the line art. It was like, I was told, no way, you can't do that. And now that I'm older, I'm kind of like, well, maybe you can. Like, you got to use like a little bit of discretion. All right. I think we're okay. All right. Are we going to call this thing? Are we going to call it? I think we're going to call it. Does it look good? I have no idea anymore. I've stared at it for too long. Let's look at the levels real quick. What if we mess with the levels? Is that going to make it better? Maybe? God, this is the... Save it. Yes, always save it. What if we bump the saturation just a tad? Man, this is... Okay, real talk. This is something... My eyes fatigue over the course, like the lifespan of a drawing. Like, this now looks gray compared to this. Like, and so I've gotten into the habit of every time I finish a thing... My dog is really working that toy. Every time I finish a thing, we do levels, we check levels, we check saturation, we see if it's good to go. I think this one is good to go. Everybody signed it right here. Can't you see their signatures? We should probably fix that. Thanks, appreciate it. Can we not select that? Hold on. We've butchered it in the line. Oh my god. I have destroyed this thing. There it is. I am a gift and a curse. Okay. Let's do the signature so that we can preserve it. Oh my god. Let's go all the way back. Turn contiguous off. This is really thrilling. This part of the stream, right, guys? Good lord. Let's sign it ourselves. If you guys, by the way, while I'm doing this very boring thing, if you want to try to do this yourselves, it is the Colorist Jam. If you want to give this thing a shot, the due diligence is important, yes. If you guys want to give this a shot, see how you do coloring it. I feel like that's appropriate to the piece, the little crown. If you guys want to give this thing a shot, it is on the Colorist Jam. If you search, we're all like super cool now. Hold on one second. Let me show you how cool we are now. We're so cool that we don't have this prepared before we do this. Look at this. Colorist Jam. Oh, I had it prepared. I just didn't do it. At Colorist Jam on Twitter and Instagram, you're going to find everybody working their butts off trying to make cool stuff. Look at all these Ninja Turtles. Everybody's got a different take. Coloring is expressive. It's artistic. Check it out. When the next jam happens, if you follow here, you will see it. I believe this is the next jam, in fact. Casey's got I was going to say ninja robot. It's a transformer. They're robots in disguise. So we're going to try that. We're going to be working on some metal, which is going to be fun. So you can follow those accounts. You can jump into the jam yourself. If you want to follow my accounts, they're up there. I'm going to be posting this Ninja Turtle on Instagram and on Twitter, so you can see it uncompressed through Twitch's algorithm and all that. You can just check it out for yourself. Yeah, follow me on those platforms and keep making comics. And what are we going to do next? I don't know what we're going to do next, but it's going to be fun. We might start doing some layouts. Might do some coloring. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. You were hoping for more dialogue bubble editing. Yeah, that was my worst stream. If you're looking for that, by the way, a reminder, it's on twitch.tv/Nickfil. I didn't even port it over to YouTube. It was not savable. What's up, Johnny, by the way? All right. Till then, everybody keep making comics. We're going to try to do another stream by the end of the week, probably Thursday or Friday. And we'll see you then. Thanks for hanging out.